The comment of the week goes to Tally Media Art. Thank you so much for your comment. I really like reading y'all's comments, and if you'd like to be the comment of the week, all you have to do is leave a comment. That could have been you. Hi everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing my digital sketchbook with you, which I haven't been sharing in a few months. I think my last digital sketchbook video was back in August. It's December now. I'm currently on Sketchbook 13 on my iPad on Procreate, and some of these drawings are from Sketchbook 10 and Sketchbook 11. So that does mean that I'm still not caught up. Or I guess you guys still aren't caught up with my sketchbook, but that's okay. I just have more drawings to share in future videos, I guess. Anyways, this first drawing is of my OC Kamir and his mom. His mom is like a teacher, and this little scene that I drew here, she's like teaching her class and he's just kind of there. So I guess it's like a bring your child to work kind of situation. Kamir is pretty shy, which is why he's like hiding behind her and stuff. I just thought it was really cute. This is an idea that I have had for a few years. I sketched it a while back and I just never got around to actually doing a finished drawing. I did kind of consider this a sketch. The way I do my digital sketchbook is so much different than how I do my actual sketchbook. Recently I've been putting more finished drawings in there, but I rarely ever do that. And so my digital sketchbook does end up having drawings that are a lot more finished. Like if this were in my sketchbook, I would consider it finished. I wouldn't consider it a sketch. Kind of weird how I do it. I do really like this. I really like the colors, and I think the idea is pretty cute as well. Since this is a drawing from like a few months ago, it's some of the design stuff specifically for Kamir has changed a lot actually. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video in the future on update you all on the things that I've changed about his design. Anyways, this is how the drawing turned out. Like I said, I really like it. I think it's super cute. And on to the next one. Next up, I have a drawing of Orange Blossom. Back in August, I redesigned a bunch of Strawberry Shortcake characters. And in that video, I want to say I mentioned that I didn't really like what I did for Orange Blossom. I can't remember though, that was months ago. But anyways, I did end up redrawing Orange Blossom, and I did post it on my Instagram, but I never posted the speed painting over here, so I'm doing it now. I definitely really prefer this redraw over my original redraw. So it's a redraw of a redraw, so it's like redraw inception. I was maybe a little more creative this time. I think with the last drawing I think Orange Blossom was like the third character that I had drawn, and I had like drew a bunch of them back to back, so by the time I got to her, I guess I was a little creatively fatigued, and so I just wasn't as creative with her outfit as I would have liked. And so coming back to the design a few days later was definitely the right decision for me, and I was able to come up with something that I really, really like, and I think she looks super cute here. So this is what the finished drawing looks like, and this is what she looks like next to the old design, and this is what she looks like with all of the other characters that I drew. I'm definitely really glad that I decided to redraw this character. Next up, we have a drawing that I did while I was struggling with a little bit of art block. It was right before Peachtober. I was really struggling to come up with ideas and stuff. I don't really like this one. I don't really like how I colored this drawing, and there's a couple other things I don't really prefer, but that's what happens when you draw, when you have art block. Sometimes you do things you don't like or that you wouldn't normally do. And that was definitely the case for this one. Funnily enough, Peachtober really helped me come out of my art block, which it kind of seems like it wouldn't. It seems like that would actually make me have worse art block because, you know, you're drawing for 31 days, you gotta come up with new ideas every day and stuff. But it really helped me to come out of the little rut that I was dealing with, and it made me realize that my art block was just due to the fact that I was just struggling to come up with ideas. And so having prompts is what really helped me, because I didn't have to come up with ideas on my own. Well, I still had to come up with ideas because I had to use the prompts to come up with something, but that initial decision on what to draw was kind of taken out of my hands, and so it was really helpful. And it's something that I am going to incorporate into my little artist self-care toolkit for whenever I feel like I need some help to be creative. But anyways, this is how the drawing turned out. Not my best work in my opinion, but it's okay. Next up is a drawing from the OC-tober thing that I was doing back in July/August, which I never actually finished. I think I was also kind of using those prompts to come out of a little drawing rut that I was in. I combined two prompts. The prompts were kisses and cuddles, and I had drawn two separate drawings for those prompts, or I had just done one of the prompts and didn't do the other one, but I didn't like the ideas that I came up with, so I came back to it later and redid it. I do like this idea. I came across this reference on Pinterest and I thought it was really funny, so I wanted to draw it. I actually don't have much to say about this one other than I do like it, and I am glad that I went back and redid it. This is what the other original drawing looked like. I can't remember if I ever ended up sharing it. I definitely didn't finish the prompts. I definitely didn't finish sharing all the drawings that I did, but I do plan on doing an Art of 2024 video soon, so you'll get to see all those. But anyways, this is how the drawing turned out. I like it, and that's all I have to say about it. Next up, we have a little one-page comic strip thingy-majig that I did. I think I did this towards the end of Peachtober. I kind of just needed a change of pace, and I had been working digitally the entire month. So, well, no, I had been working traditionally the entire month, and so I was like, let me take a break from that and draw something digitally to kind of, you know, get a little mid-month or end of the month, I can't remember which one it was, little rejuvenation or whatever. I took one of the pages from my sketchbook where I sketched out all the little things for the little comic, and I just did the line art for them and colored it in. And not my best work. Whenever I take a little break from whatever medium I'm using, in this case it was digital, whenever I come back to it, I kind of have to, you know, do some warm-ups and stuff to kind of get my footing again, because I kind of just forget how I do things. And that was the case with this one. I just didn't like how I shaded things and colored some things, and that was it. But other than that, I think it's an okay, neat little thing, and it was a fun little thing to work on, especially since I've been on a very, very, very long hiatus from working on this comic. So it was just a nice little fun thing to work on. I'm actually currently dealing with that little weird, oh my gosh, I sort of kind of forgot how to draw digitally a little bit thing right now. I did not realize it, but I've been working traditionally since August. Just unintentionally, I've just been gravitating more towards my like watercolors and markers and stuff. And so last night I was just drawing a bunch of stuff digitally to kind of get that, so I can remember how to actually do stuff. So I like put on my like Spotify 2024 playlist. I was listening to that. I was like, oh my gosh, all these songs are bops. And of course I thought that because they're the songs I've been listening to for the past year. Anyways, this is how the drawing turned out. It's okay, and it was fun to work on. Okay, so now we're moving from Sketchbook 10 to Sketchbook 11. There were quite a few duds in Sketchbook 11, so I'm not going to share all the drawings in there. In fact, there were there were a couple, about 3 that I didn't quite finish. So I was like, you're not making the cut. You're not going to be in the video. Anyways, so this drawing is yet another redraw. I was redrawing a bunch of stuff this time around, I guess. This is a redraw of a watercolor painting that I did. I wasn't quite pleased with the watercolor painting. There's a video about it if you'd like to see it. I was like trying some watercolor techniques and stuff that I had learned. But the drawing didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to redraw it digitally. And I did. And I definitely like how the digital drawing turned out. I ended up using the initial sketch that I did in my sketchbook. I ended up using that for this digital drawing. I didn't use it for the watercolor drawing, which I think definitely contributed to why I didn't like the watercolor painting as much. It just didn't have that same feeling that the sketch did. This was a fun little thing to work on. I hadn't actually written it. I was just thinking up some ideas for Kamir's story and stuff. And I had this idea for a scene and stuff. And I hadn't written it, and I didn't feel like writing it either. So I was like, I'm just going to draw it instead because it's faster. I guess I ended up drawing it 3 times technically, since I kept redrawing it. This digital drawing ended up being the closest to the idea that I had, so it's really nice. So they're one of those like Polaroid type photo things, and I added some texture to the actual photograph, which was pretty nice. I had like a little thumbprint thing on there, which is kind of reference to the necklace that I draw Kamer with. Sometimes it has his thumbprint on it, so like it would be fun to incorporate that in some other way. Okay, next we have yet another redraw. Like I said, I guess I was just in the mood to redraw a bunch of stuff, which I do whenever I'm having like a little art block. I'm having trouble coming up with ideas, so I just revisit older ideas that maybe I didn't execute as well because my skill levels didn't allow me to. So this is a drawing I did a year or so ago. This is what that original drawing looked like, and I wanted to redo it. And I did. Don't like the redraw, so I do end up redrawing the redraw again. Actually, I didn't like it when I drew it, but now I do. I think I was being just maybe a little hard on myself, which I can get like that whenever I get art block. I just am in like a mood or mode where I just don't really like anything that I'm drawing, and yep, I was like that. Sketchbook 11 was rough. But looking back at it, some of the drawings aren't so bad. I didn't really like the colors, and with this particular drawing, I was practicing drawing or coloring darker skin, and I just wanted to make sure I got all the highlights and stuff right to make it look really nice. And I wanted the overall color palette to be really cool, so I do think I achieved that. But this is what that drawing looks like. And I do like it now. I was just being a hater. But I'm finally starting to come out of my hater era. Next up, we have a drawing that I do really, really like. It's my OC Kamer yet again. Except this time I was basing this drawing off of some updated design stuff that I was talking about. Except this isn't super updated. This is still pretty behind. Like I said, I'm currently on Sketchbook 13. This is Sketchbook 11. So yeah, I got some catching up to do, which is, I just have to make those videos. Give me some time, okay? Give me some time. Anyways, this is also using that Polaroid picture idea thing, but it's also kind of a passport photo or like ID photo type thing. So yeah, fun little thing I was working on. I really like how the hair looks. Pretty fun. I really enjoyed drawing this one, and I think I enjoyed it because I went into the drawing thinking, oh, I'm just goofing around, because I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself. I was able to really enjoy the drawing process and come up with something that I really liked. Next up, we have a redraw of a redraw, the redraw of a redraw that I mentioned in the previous redraw. Okay, so after I finished that drawing of Shanti, I was like, I don't really like it. It doesn't really look like her. So I was doing some character design updates in my sketchbook, and I was like, oh, well, let me do a finished drawing of this. Except this doesn't really look like her either. In fact, the last one looks more like her. So now I feel inclined to redraw the redraw of the redraw of the redraw. I may have a problem. I don't know. I do really like this drawing. It just doesn't look like the character. And that's that. But it's a really nice drawing, I think. And I do recall having a lot of fun with this. And this is what that looks like. I do think it's really nice. But I do want to redraw it. I gotta stop. But anyways, that is everything. Sketchbooks 10 and 11 were quite the roller coaster. I don't want to go back. Don't send me back. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Shout out to my patrons, Merriman Illustrations, Sister55, and Kelsey. Thank you so much for being my patrons. I really appreciate you and everything that you do. Wow, oh my goodness. Thanks so much for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you would like, and I will see you next time.